Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen. That's always going to be four. It's like that the fucking Mount Rushmore of the NFL right now. Like if you don't have Lamar in there, the world goes crazy. You know, if you don't have Josh Allen in there, oh my God, you're an idiot. You know, Mahomes, like it's always those four that are going to be talked about. But I think Sam is close. I mean, I think Sam is right in like top 10, no doubt about it. He's better than a lot of the quarterbacks that I've ranked. He shut up everybody.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the B Team. We got Mike, we got Muller, and we have a Super Bowl champion, Mike. We have the Seattle Seahawks, our 2025-2026 Super Bowl champions. Sam Darnold gets it done. The Patriots fall. Everybody's happy. But before we get into this breakdown, Mike, we got to give a shout out to Tanczos Beverages. All right, so the season's over, but that doesn't mean we don't have to have fun weekends, right? Head over to Tanczos Beverages, where they can get you set up for your next tailgate for the college basketball, for NBA, for NHL, right? We got playoffs coming up. We got MLB on the horizon. Go over to Tanczos, grab your beer, grab your ready to drink cocktails, your canned cocktails, your high noons, your neutrals, right? Go get some Miller Lights, right? Let's have a day. Let's have a day on the weekends. It's no time to be little wimps on the weekends. We got to get it. We got to get the vibes up. So if you're in the Lehigh Valley, do it the right way this weekend. Head over to Tanczos Beverages and they'll stock you up. Speaking of that, did you see the Godzilla pack?
No. All I want to know is who came up with the RTDs, because that is the greatest acronym that I've heard in a long time.
Right,
RTDs.
I think it's hilarious. And
I've never heard of them until we started talking Tanczos and RTDs. I'm like, what the hell are RTDs?
Well, you know why they call them RTDs? Actually, I'm not going to say that because we're in the middle of an ad, but I think you see where I'm going with that. We've had to bleep it out before on this show. But yeah, it is a great acronym for it. And so many people get confused with it because like these are RTDs and like, you know, we say that to people and they're like, we don't know what the hell that means. But then you say ready to drink cocktail and they're like, oh, we're talking about martinis. We got cut waters. We got, neutrals, your Jim Beams, right? Crown Royales. But no, RTDs are great. Really happy that we get to sell them because, discount, pretty sick. But no, the Godzilla pack, Mike. Pabst Blue Ribbon is selling a gigantic box, 99 beers.
Oh.
The 99 beer pack. We sold, I think that there was one sold yesterday. And there might be one or two or three on somewhere in the back. I don't know, but I think that's a pretty sick thing, especially if you're a college kid. Get that thing in a party.
99 beers. Is it one? Is it all one flavor? Is it just a regular Pabst Blue Ribbon, or is it like?
I believe so. Yes.
Damn. How much is it?
I could be wrong in saying this. I think it's like $80.
$80.
That's not bad.
For 99 beers, it's not. But it's just PBR. That's the problem.
The one thing that you got to keep in mind is like you probably need 2 or 3 people to carry this thing. And a big enough car.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. You got a picture of it? I might have to look it up.
I'll send it to you after. It's wild. I'm going to put it into the show right here. But yeah, no, let's let's get into this though. All right. We have a Super Bowl champion, Mike. Sam Darnold gets it done. And I kind of want to start here, right? I don't want to start with the Patriots, even though that's an easy target, right? Drake May and the Patriots, they didn't play great. That's an easy target. I don't want to do that, though. I want to start with Seattle. Is Mike McDonald, sorry. That's such disrespect. I'm going to restart. That's hand up accountability. Hand up accountability.
There's a lot of Mike McDaniels that we know.
Yes.
Miami coach, Mike McDaniel, who we just had on the podcast. It's tough.
Yes. No, that was that. Tough luck, Super Bowl champion. Is Mike McDonald the next Bill Belichick, Mike? Because when you look at his resume, right, he's the first defensive-minded, defensive play-calling head coach since Bill Belichick to win a Super Bowl. right? There's not many that like over the last 30 years that have even done it in that scenario. And you look at him at Michigan, everyone was saying that, you know, he had all the play calls and that they were cheating. I'm starting to think that that's not the case. I think that he was just elite. You look at the Ravens, all those years when they were just an elite defense, and then he leaves and all of a sudden that defense, you know, they have their frailties now, right? So that's kind of my question with this Seattle team. Is he the next Bill Belichick? And is he going to start his own dynasty here in Seattle? Because when you look at the way they've drafted, they've hit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say he's the next Bill Belichick, but because it was his first year in the NFL. Like, I think that's a crazy thing to say right now. But I think he's on the absolute right path. Like, I mean, coming into the NFL, I think this is his second year as a head coach, and they win the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, I'm not going to let that go unnoticed. Like, that he did a magnificent job all season long. He is absolutely on the right path. Like, this is one of these coaches that, you know, comes in, newer guy, you know, proves a lot of doubters wrong. As far as Bill Belichick, I mean, that might be a stretch, but I can see him being another. If we want to go that way, it's hard to predict, man. It's hard to get back to the Super Bowl, but he could be a Harbaugh. He could be maybe a Tomlin. You know, I could see him being at that caliber. But yeah, I know it's just way too small of a sample size to really, you know, jump ahead of the bell curve. But he did a fantastic job. I will say that.
Sorry, the damn dog was barking. I put it on mute. That's on me. No, like
start off hot.
No, when you look at you know, the way they've drafted and the young talent that they have, that's going to be there for probably at least the next 3 years, most of them. And you have Sam Darnold, who, you know, he's not the type of guy that's going to be like chasing a bag. You have kind of some flexibility there where you could build a dynasty, right? If they come back next year and they're in the Super Bowl, it's going to be hard to bet against them, especially if the defense is playing at that level. If the offense can just, you know, they seem to score 25 plus a game, right? That's a great recipe for success. I'm pretty sure that the defense, the most points they let up all year was something like 17 or 18 points, right? So that's going to be really hard to replicate next year. But if in any scenario they do it next year, it's going to be hard for me to sit here and be like, okay, this guy might be building something similar to what Andy Reid did in Kansas City, similar to what Belichick did 3 times in New England, right? So I don't know. I think he's on the right path. I think he has the right organization, and I think he has the correct people in his team to get that done.
I mean, I think we got to give credit to John Schneider, who is the GM. He obviously signed Sam to a 3-year deal. I think it was 30-something a year. You know, after everything that happened, San Francisco, Carolina, Minnesota, they took a gamble on him. Now he's a Super Bowl champion. JSN, they drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba. They brought in Leonard Williams. Charles Cross, they drafted him. They just hit on so many pieces. They hit on so many pieces on the offensive side, on the defensive side, and on special teams, where you got Dixon as the punter and you got Jason Myers as the kicker, who could have honestly won the MVP for the Super Bowl in Jason Myers. I mean, he's hit on all of his pieces. He has drafted exactly who they want in their vision for their identity. So yeah, I agree, Baller. And honestly, I think they have like a shitload of cap space too. I think they're at I was just looking at this. I think they're at like 76 million total cap space.
Yeah.
They can't get worse. Right? They can't get worse.
Right.
Right.
I agree with you. And that's kind of where I'm at with, you know, Mike McDaniel. Maybe it's not, I keep doing it, Mike.
It's not, it's hard to do. I've done it too.
Yeah. Because all year, like, we weren't really talking about Mike McDonald. It's always Mike McDaniel. Then we have on Mike McDaniel, right? It's it's a serious problem we're going to have on this show going into the offseason. Mike McDonald, on the other hand, right? He has literally everything at his disposal right now to honestly, he has zero reason not to be in this type of position next year. He should be in the NFC Championship next year. He should be playing for a Super Bowl next year.
It's $76 million in cap space. You're probably not going to lose much, you know. I just don't see them being bad again. Like, no. Especially, I mean, we can sit here and talk about, but you know, Sam Darnold, like, dude, he solidified himself. That's done. Like, are we going to see glimpses of the old Sam Darnold? Yes, but I think he beat himself out of that realm of disrespect. He's a Super Bowl champion now. Yeah. So but you know, people are going to be like, still think, but you know, can Sam Darnold live in this moment? I mean, you're going to hear it all next year when they are in the playoffs again. People are still going to disrespect him, so it'll come down to that. And if they lose, Sam Darnold's ghost. You know how it is. But I think the one thing, I mean, I'm pretty much going to get into the game here, so I'll wait. Whenever you want to get in and talk about.
Well, that kind of works because, like, I wanted to ask you this as well with Sam Darnold, right? Does this kind of solidify him as a top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league right now, winning the Super Bowl after this type of season?
I think he, again, like top 10, no doubt about it. Top 5, I mean, it's close. It really is. Like, because, you know, we're always going to talk about Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen. That's always going to be 4. It's like the fucking Mount Rushmore of the NFL right now. Like, if you don't have Lamar in there, the world goes crazy. You know, if you don't have Josh Allen in there, oh my God, you're an idiot. You know, Mahomes, like, it's always those 4 that are going to be talked about. But I think Sam is close. I mean, I think Sam is right in like top 10, no doubt about it. He's better than a lot of the quarterbacks that I've ranked. You know, he shut up everybody, and I'm so happy for him. I am so fucking delighted for that man.
Absolutely. And honestly, Mike, I want you to do this right now. You might not want to do this, but I want you to only base it off of this season, a top 10. Like, can you just give us a top 10? Because I'm actually interested to see where, if you base it off of only this season and you're winging it right now, right? We didn't tell you before it. Where would Sam Darnold end up?
In the postseason, too.
Everything.
So, leading up to the Super Bowl.
Everything.
Okay.
After this whole season, who was the top 10 quarterbacks?
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's do.
I can help you out here, too.
Matthew Stafford was 1. He was always the MVP. We never talked about it except I posted a video. Yes. Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen. Who else? Oh my God.
Do you have Josh Allen at 2?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Josh Allen. He's great. But the thing is, you know, I want to put Mahomes there. I want to put Lamar, but if we're talking about this season, they just Joe Burrow, you know, like same thing. So I can maybe give you. Oh man, like honestly, I think Caleb is damn close. I would probably put him at 3. Yeah. Oh man,
if we're going strictly off of quarterback play, and you know, oh my gosh, who was it? I think it was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, he was talking about how the wins and losses of your football team kind of impact how people look at you as a quarterback.
That's
when
true.
It's not always the case. He pointed out, you know, like there was one season with Jalen Hurts where he was very good. The defense let him down. There was one season with Dak, let him down this year. There was, I mean, Matthew Stafford for years in Detroit, right? You're looking at him as a Hall of Famer, and it's like, oh, are we really going to knock his time in Detroit because his team stunk? But like, he was an elite quarterback. He was running that offense at an elite level, right? So I think there's moments where we look at the team as a whole instead of just the quarterback play. And that's where I'm like, all right, Sam Darnold, I know he had a great defense, but he was still elite on his side of the ball. Like, I think he's at least top 8. Ryan Clark didn't even have him in his top 10 until they talked him into putting him at 10.
Yeah, no, he's you can't even trust that guy because he's a fucking moron at the end of the day. But yeah, Sam Darnold right now, I think, is around, like, if you include for next year, everybody is healthy. Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, everyone is healthy. I give him 6. I give him 7. I could possibly even give him 5. Yeah, 6, 7, 5. Like, it's just nice to see that, you know, he's broken that stigma around him. Like, I don't believe he played bad in the Super Bowl. I thought he was very good. I thought that you have to give some credit to a guy like Christian Gonzalez who, made phenomenal plays the whole game. He had a hell of a game. I gotta give him a lot of credit. Did he have two, passes that could have been taken back? Maybe, but he also made a lot of good passes. He also, fit it into a tight window, put a lot of zip on it so they can make the catch. I thought he was terrific, honestly.
Dude, he scored 29 points.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all you can ask.
Against a Patriots defense that was, that's been solid all season long. Everyone hyped him up. We talked about this. Shout out to Mike McDaniel, though, who we did have. He predicted the shit out of this game. Even with the Patriots, they talked about their easy schedule and this and that. Guess what? Seattle took care of business. Their defense did actually play decently well. They did rush. Sam's ability to escape the pocket and to maneuver around the pocket was so key throughout the whole game because Christian Barmore was, causing havoc on the interior, and he just knew how to avoid it and just get the ball out of his hands quickly. And that's just experience. That's just time taking over and you getting better as a quarterback. And you could see it. Like I could see it from his Jets days to now. It's just spot on. And it's really fun to watch someone grow, not on another team, but for just as a quarterback in general. Like,
yeah,
pause. But
all right, well, let's move on. So I want to talk about the Patriots now a little bit. We've talked a lot about Seattle. I want to talk about the Patriots. They from the beginning of the game, they just never looked like they had it. Seattle was all over them at the beginning. Will Campbell looked horrible. Drake May couldn't complete a pass for his life. Where did this whole thing go wrong for the Patriots in the lead up to this game, right? Like, to this result, I should say.
they got smacked in the mouth, in my opinion. I think they just got punched in the mouth and they didn't have a response. That O-line, Will Campbell, not even him, but just even the right tackle, I forget his name, but they got punched in the mouth. Drake May looked timid. You could tell he looked timid. He had a little resurgence in the fourth, making some throws, but he didn't really have the time in the pocket like he needed. He missed a lot of throws. Like, you could just tell they really didn't have momentum on their side, like, at all. There was maybe a couple of moments in the game where on the defensive side it looked like, big 3-and-out sack, but they just could never overcome it. I just think Seattle's defense absolutely mauled the shit out of their offensive line.
Yeah.
And they played with grit. They played with physicality. And that's what Mike Vrabel stood on business for, his whole coaching career. They didn't have it. They didn't have it. They looked lost. Drake May was an absolute hell. And listen, do I hate Drake May? Yes, he's a Patriot. I must hate him. It is in my blood. But he's going to be fine. He's going to be all right. They exceeded the shit out of expectations. But, he's going to look back and he'll be back there. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be back there, especially after this year. Will Campbell will be back. It's just inexperience at the end of the day, inexperience, and they weren't physical enough. That's what I saw. They didn't really have the chances to make the right calls. And I said this before. When you asked me, what the game was going to come down to. I said special teams, and I said right coaching decisions. Now, let me hop back on Seattle real quick, because Mike McDonald made the right decisions every single time he was put in those positions. He went for a field goal every single time. Jason Myers had, 4, 5? They made it almost a 2-possession game based off just having field goals. It was 12-0, and then I think they scored a touchdown. Those are the right calls that made them win the game. It actually helped them to win the game. Punting the ball, the special teams was fantastic, and obviously the defense. But yeah, the Patriots will be all right. They're only going to get better. They just, maybe they were frauds. Maybe they weren't the team that everyone thought they were going to be, including myself, because I thought they were going to make it at least a little bit closer. I mean, it's the freaking Patriots. And shout out to Mike McDaniel saying, no, this ain't the same old Patriots. It's like, I'm kind of scarred. Every time I see them in the Super Bowl, I do think they're going to make some noise. It's kind of inevitable. But Yeah, they'll be
I
fine,
agree with you.
but oh man, rough.
Yeah. No, it's
But this is the thing. One more thing, Mel. Like this is the thing. I don't. For me, as a football fan, I enjoyed the shit out of the game because I like, even if it's low scoring, like which it wasn't. It was 29-13. Like I loved watching the defense just eat. Like I love that shit. I don't know. It was like, oh, boring game. Just there's no points. Like, bro, there was points. You know, there was field goals. It was strategical matchup, and they, Mike McDonald won the chess match, and he perfected it in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. We've talked about that a bunch of times on this show, right? People have to respect both sides of the football. Everyone wants the quarterback in that offense to dominate a football game, but there's times where like everyone knew this was going to happen coming into this game. We talked about it for literally 2 weeks, how we had the two of the best defenses in the league going head to head in this football game. Like it wasn't the fact that there was 29 points scored against 13, right? That's a lot of points. The over almost hit in a game where the defense was supposed to absolutely dominate, which they did. The first half, going to halftime at 9-0, just shows that the defense was absolutely cooking, right? Everyone was all upset about that. You know, we're going into halftime. Everyone's in a bad mood because the kickers are just having a kicking duel out there on the field, right? I'm a fan of kickers. Everybody knows that. Respect for kickers, right? I'm glad that they got their shine in the first half because they sure as hell did not in the second when the offenses took over and started scoring. But yeah, and that's where like also both teams were in the game, right? At some point in I think it was like the third, probably like the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think the hope of Patriots fans absolutely got just killed, died. Right. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was probably Drake May's interception, which I don't know what he was looking at. He did it a couple times, right? He didn't have to throw into triple and quadruple coverage, right? There was a lot of time left on the clock, and he's just throwing ducks down the field. I'm surprised he only got intercepted. How many times was it? Twice?
I think just twice, yeah.
Twice, yeah. He should have been intercepted like 4 or 5 times. The kid was in over his head this game. It was a tough scene, and I hate to say this for Patriots fans who think Drake May is the truth. He's the answer. He's the next coming of Brady. But there's a little stat that I posted on my story before the game and just how big this scenario, this game was for both quarterbacks because it was their first time getting to the Super Bowl. If you lose, you ain't going back. Jalen Hurts, respect to you because you did it. You made it back. You won literally the next year. Drake May might never get back. Drake May might never get back, right? Dak Prescott spoke about this just in having what was his first year, 15-2 or 14-2, whatever it was. You know, he spoke about being in that situation where you're a 1 seed and having that belief that you can go to a Super Bowl. And you think, oh, it's my rookie year, like I'm going to have so many chances at it. Well, how many chances has Dak had to get to a Super Bowl, right? He hasn't had many. He spoke about that, how, each year it just becomes more pressure on you to, you want to make it. Well, Drake May just made it to the Super Bowl in his first year and lost. So he's going to have that hunger. But now he's working against history where, people don't make it back. And this Patriots team had a very easy schedule this year. Is he going to be good enough? Is Vrabel going to be good enough to get them back into this situation? Especially, you got to think Pat Mahomes ain't going to be that bad next year. He already looks like he's going to be back for week 1. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, believe it or not, are making me believe again the way they're talking in these interviews. And I know he's speculated to go to Minnesota and all that bullshit. He ain't going. He's going to be in Cincinnati next year. And then you got, Lamar Jackson. If they go get a wide receiver, it sounds like A.J. Brown might be on the cards. Right, that's an elite offense, and the defense surely has to get better, especially with their new regime there. And it's just the AFC is going to reload, and they're going to be strong next year. Josh Allen's going to be back, and my God, if they got one thing they got to do is get a number 1 wide receiver in there, and they're elite again, right? So I think that there's just a lot of talent in the AFC, and they just had a very big down year. I don't see the Patriots being a top 8 team in the AFC next year. I just don't.
I just think about it too. Like even this goes for Seattle too. You make it to the Super Bowl. What do you think your schedule is going to look like next year? Now you're going to have one of the hardest schedules, especially the Patriots. That's a given. They're going to have an absolute gauntlet of a schedule. So will Seattle. They're going to be on the primetime games. So will Seattle. It's not going to be, obviously you play the Jets twice a year. You play Miami twice a year. You're going to play Buffalo twice a year. But depending on the division you get, they're gonna load you up against a good NFC division, whether it be the NFC West, whether it be the NFC North. It's not going to be, and the NFC South. It's not going to be the AFC. I don't know. I mean, I just think teams are getting better. Like you said, every single year, teams will get healthier. Teams will make better moves. Teams will make different coaching adjustments. It's not going to be easy for them, and I really don't think that they're going to get back. I would be shocked if they got back. But if they did, then I got to give credit again to them, which they can do, but I don't see it happening. It's going to be a very tough schedule for them.
Yeah, so I actually have the Patriots schedule up next year. Obviously they have the Bills twice. They got the Dolphins twice. They got the Jets twice.
Yep.
Right? Not the toughest division in the entire NFL, whereas Seattle, right, every single year they're in a dogfight. They got San Fran every year. They got the Rams every year. It's almost guaranteed 4 games against a top 10 team in the league. So when you look at the Patriots schedule, they already have a little bit of an advantage. But then you look at they have the Cowboys. They're going to play the AFC North. They got the AFC. They have an AFC West game in there. An NFC South. And you got to think they're getting the best teams from each one after making it to the Super Bowl, right? So their schedule is just getting tougher. They have the Giants on it. They got the Jags on here. They got the Colts. They got the Texans. Right? These are all teams that at some point in this season, people thought could make a run at a Super Bowl. Right? They're not playing teams where, it's the Jets, right? Obviously they have 2 games against the Jets, but they're not playing, the Saints. They're not playing teams that everyone expects them to go win the game. Right, it's going to be a lot of dogfights next year, and I don't know if they're going to be able to pull out those games.
I always forget that they come out with the schedule right when the season ends.
Well, there's no dates or times or anything. They just kind of have the teams listed who they play.
So what, they play the NFC South and the AFC North? Is that what it's looking like?
They got the AFC South.
The AFC South, which is getting better. Not the best, getting better.
And the NFC East.
NFC East.
Then they have those 3 games mixed in there where they'll play an NFC South, AFC West, and AFC North.
Yeah, I mean, is it okay? So,
which, take your pick out of the NFC North, Mike. Like all 4 of those teams should be better next year.
Yeah, like the NFC East, is going to be a battle. It's not going to be any gimmies. Even if the Giants get better. The Commanders, same thing. If Jaden Daniels gets back to full health and they actually have an identity, different story.
Dude,
I thought it would be
real
like
quick.
The NFC South and AFC North, and damn, maybe it's easy again. But they're gonna have a dogfight.
And real quick, the NFC East, that's sneakily going to be one of the hardest divisions next year. It might be one of the best divisions in football next year. When you look at who they have, they're all going to be beating the shit out of each other. The Giants are going to get Scatterbo and Jackson Dart back. They're going to have Neighbors back, right? They got Harbaugh as their head coach. So that team could be really, really good. And then you look at the Commanders. Now, I think the Commanders are coming in last place again. Or not again, but you know what I mean. But Jaden Daniels is going to be there. He's going to be healthy. I really like Jaden Daniels. I just don't think they have the pieces around him right now to be successful in that division. The Eagles, I mean, they're always good. They're always nuisances. But who knows what their coaching is going to look like next year? And we've spoken enough about Jalen Hurts. We don't got to say much. Everyone knows how we feel about him. And then the Cowboys, they seem like they're trending up. But just when you think the Cowboys are trending up, they usually absolutely tank themselves in some way, shape, or form. So this division could be an absolute dogfight up until probably Christmas to New Year, all the way into Week 18. So, yeah, I know we don't have to get into that right now. I'm sure we'll get into it over the next 3 months when we don't have actual football games. But, yeah, the Patriots' schedule is going to be crazy next year.
Yeah, and again, we were right where it was always the NFC at the end of the day. Like when you saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl again, I thought they'd put up a better fight, but the NFC was too strong. It was just destined to happen. Whether whoever came out of the Rams Seattle game, we saw them winning because you had Matthew Stafford and the Rams who can turn it up whenever, or you have Sam Darnold in Seattle with a chip on their shoulder, especially Sam, and something to prove. So they got business done. Shout out to Kenneth Walker too. He resurrected his career. He restamped himself, put himself back on the map because he was excellent, absolutely excellent. And Cooper Kupp had a great game.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you have anything else on the Super Bowl that you wanted to talk about? You all good to move on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's move on here. Last thing that I want to get into here on the show. So we had next year's Super Bowl logo revealed. I'll have it up on the screen. Obviously, you guys see that. I don't know why I say I'm going to have it up on the screen every time because you guys are watching the show. But for the audio people, it's on the screen for them. I want to make a little prediction here, Mike, at what we're looking at for next year's Super Bowl because there's a trend. Everyone knows the trend, right? The colors of the Super Bowl usually reflect who makes it into the Super Bowl. We don't like to say the NFL is rigged here, even though we've personally asked NFL players on this show, is NFL rigged? And they've given some sketchy answers. But yeah, I want to look at this. We have a lot of orange. There's some yellow. We got the blue wave, but it's kind of Seattle colors.
I mean, for me, I think it's the Saints and the Dolphins that I think they're going to make the Super Bowl. I'm kidding.
I'm cutting that, and we are going to rage bait the shit out of people. Holy cow. Dude.
Yeah, it's the Saints and the Dolphins. Tyler Shock is the truth, Tyreek Hill, a quarterback. I mean, you could just run the Wildcat every single play. And nobody's going to stop him. I just think, I don't even know who Miami's coach is. It's some cheesehead from Green Bay. I just can't see them not making the Super Bowl. Tyler Shock is the truth, and we're going to, he's going to lead the Saints to the promised land with Chris Olave, with, Joe Smith at receiver. They're going to be fantastic. Saints, Dolphins.
I don't know how you kept a straight face through all that. All right, let's give a serious prediction now.
I do see Seattle colors, so I will say. You got to post that, bro.
All right, let's actually give it. Let's give a serious prediction here. Okay. Almost just died. Genuinely, the only teams that blue could be is Seattle, Jaguars, or Miami. You're correct. Miami could be one.
Yeah.
No one else could be that color. Which leads me to believe, it's the Jags. And then yellow and orange. We're looking at the NFC. Who's yellow and orange in the NFC?
Yellow and orange? I mean, the Bears are orange. Green Bay's
Bears?
Oh, yeah. Did I say the Bears? What did I say before?
Yeah, you said Bears.
Yeah, I said the Bears.
Dude, Bears, Jags?
Maybe the Bucks, they're no.
Yeah. The Bucks actually make sense because they got that yellow in there. I don't know.
We see Seattle going back to back. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Where is the Super Bowl next year? Is it in Miami?
I think that's where it's looking like.
Dude, can you imagine Bucks Jags in Miami?
That'd be awesome.
That would be incredible.
Oh, that would be a party.
Dude, yeah, that's my prediction now, just because I want that.
Right.
Bucks Jags.
That'd be incredible.
For me, it's the blue. Because I can... I'm going to say, based off that, I'm just going to give... I can't. No. All right, how about this? We're going to go back to back. Seattle's going to be in it.
Okay.
And that orange, it's going to be a random team. And I'm trying to think. It's going to be... you know what? I want to say Denver, but I'm not going to say Denver. I will say the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go Seattle and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl. Bet it now.
So you don't even care about the orange in this logo.
Not really. No. No.
Fair. No, that's fair. I don't hate that prediction because the Jags looked really good. Liam Cohen looking really good. No, I'm sticking with the Bears. I think that they could have given Seattle a run for their money in that NFC Championship game. So I'm going Bears, and I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I'm sticking with that prediction that we gave right off the rip there. Yeah. I'm sure that neither of us will be right. That's okay. We're making a prediction in February, a couple days after the last Super Bowl.
Miami could hire, Zeus as their head coach. So who knows what can happen? The Saints, who knows what can happen?
There's going to be someone that literally cuts off the show after you say that, thinking that's your real prediction, and they're not going to listen to the rest, and they're going to tweet at us, or they're going to message us on Instagram, and it's probably going to be Joe. It's going to be Joe, and he's going to be like, Mike's an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I even call myself an idiot, but
no. So I don't have anything else with the football. Do you have some time? Yeah, let's do it. What time is it? Brought to you by Tanczos Beverages. Remember at the beginning of the show when I told you guys about Tanczos Beverages? Well, listen to this. Oh, yeah, that was some good audio. I know they just got down in their ears, Mike. Tanczos Beverages, brought to you by them. We got Go Brewing this week. All right, non-alcoholic. We tried to record this about 3 days ago, and Mike and I, in typical B-team fashion, didn't know that if you screen recorded on FaceTime that it just had no volume. So, yeah, that failed. But here we are again. We're going to try this again. We're going to pretend like this is our first time having it. Mike, what are your first thoughts when you look at this thing?
Again, first thoughts, the can is awesome. I love the artwork on the can. I love the black top on the can. You don't really see that much anymore. It's a sour with blueberry and strawberry. I know it doesn't smell as carbonated. It kind of smells like a smoothie drink, like a smoothie non-alcoholic. But, I mean, there's only one way to find out if it's good or not. But I love the artwork on the can so much.
Yeah, the can gets it some extra bonus points, I would say. And so we have Go Brewing New School Sour with blueberry and strawberry. Mike, let's give this thing a try. Right off the bat, it's not as thick as I thought it was going to be. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It tastes like
it's like a Miller Lite with raspberries. I think we said that last time.
Yes. You know what I just thought of? You ever have like that Special K cereal?
Yes.
It's like the strawberry ones. That's what I get too, actually.
I think it's those strawberries mixed with a Miller Lite. That's even better than the raspberries. That's a great shout.
Mm-hmm. I forget
But specifically those strawberries.
Yeah, I think I get more hints of the strawberries than the blueberries. But
all right, do you have a score or do we need one more sip?
Let's go one more here.
Let's go one more sip. Everyone knows the rules. All right. Now, this is our first sour, so it's a little bit different on the scoring scale here, right? The different style of beer here. All right, you ready? I have a score in my head. 3, 2, 1.
6.6.
All right, so 6.7.
Sure.
That's awesome that we just got that. And the thing is, like, it's not bad. It's just it's not my style. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be objective. Like, it's not bad, right?
I just don't know. Like, it's missing obviously the booze, but like, it's just. It's not a bad sour. It's just, I don't know.
I think it's because it's not as thick as we want it to be, right? Because the way it smells and the way it's like described, you expect it to be like thick, like a smoothie, like you said. But it's just not. It's literally as smooth as a Miller Lite. Like, it's good. But is it better than the beers we've had where we were like, they're 7.5, they're 7.6, right? I don't think we haven't given anything above a 7-9, have we? I think we had an 8-1.
Well, we had the Elysian, which was pretty high up there.
That one might have been like an 8-4, but that was the highest we've given. So like a 6-7 is really not that bad. That's a good beer.
Yeah, it's just very subtle. I'm expecting more flavor. I guess based off the artwork. The artwork itself is kind of pushing it up in scale, but it doesn't really pop as much. But not terrible. Would I get it again? No, not bad.
Yeah, it's good though. It's just good. Solid. If you wanted a sour, this would work.
Yeah. And again, there's probably not that many NA sours in the world, but it's just the can looks so cool. That's what would give me a higher rating. But like, sometimes you got to put that aside and go for the taste.
Yeah,
the taste ain't doing it as much. It's okay. It's not the best.
Yeah. So 6-7. Good beer. Go Brewing. New School Sour. Solid beer. Good beer. Go ahead and get it at Tanczos Beverages, Bethlehem. They are rocked and loaded, ready to serve you your brews for the weekend. Mike, with that, let's go to work.
Let's go to work. Another season down the drain. Super Bowl is done. We thank you all for supporting us, showing us the love. You know the off season we cook up. We got free agency in about a month or two. We got the draft coming up. We're going to have golf coming up. We're going to have interviews. We're going to have a lot of stuff. So we, keep this channel running, and I'm excited. I mean, I've always enjoyed the off season. We'll have Lucas on for draft mocks. We always are going to have a good time doing it. So very excited. Another good season down the drain.
Yep. Thank you guys. Subscribe. Throw a comment down there. Let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
See ya.
Goodbye. Sub.